Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and what I want to talk about right now is Dungeons and Dragons and the year 24. So we are almost there. We're almost to the 50th anniversary of the 2020 of Dungeons and Dragons. 5 decades of Dungeons and Dragons. So if you don't know, this year was 49 years of Dungeons and Dragons, and what I want to talk about is what's going to happen with Dungeons and Dragons in the year 2024, and what 2024 will look like after 2023. So let's jump into this. So first of all, what's going to happen in 2024 with Dungeons and Dragons? And the answer is the largest. I think what we're going to see. Okay, this is my prediction. I think 2024 will see the largest print run ever produced for any tabletop role-playing game ever. I actually think the printing of the PHB, the DMG, and the Monster Manual for Dungeons and Dragons 2024 Core Rulebook Edition. Actually, 2024 Core Rulebook Revision. This is not a new edition, right? But it is going to be the largest print run anyone's ever seen yet, ever. And this year, we heard that Hasbro was struggling to find printers that could handle this load, this amount of printing, right? Because it's going to be an incredible amount of printing that's been done. Also, I wanted to let you know, okay? I bought my PHB, my DMG, my Monster Manual in 2014, right? And I was literally at Otakon, and I saw I saw somebody carrying the book before I knew it was print release, and I got upset. I was like, well, I gotta get back and get mine. And so I got my copy of the 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons PHB, the Monster Manual, and the core rule, the PHB, the DMG, and the right? Got them all together. And this is the astounding part, right? Listen carefully to this. So I got all this together, and I've had those books for 10 years, and they have gone through immense use. And I've heard all this complaint, oh, they're not made well. Mine have survived 10 years of use. I have turned the pages hundreds of times. Now, I will say they are ragged. There's dents on every corner of the book. I have, there's like sticky residue from all these sticky notes I put in the different pages. And there's some stickers in there because somebody gave me a sticker in a campaign once, and they're pretty ragged, right? But the reality is the bindings never split. My copies were fantastic, and they've survived 10 years of use, right? So, but let's talk about this 2024. So first of all, this 2024 release, I think it's going to be the largest print run, the largest physical book print run that has ever been done in any tabletop role-playing game. And it's an important historical moment for humanity, not just for D&D players. And the reason why is increasingly there's not a lot of reasons to print books anymore. Very few people read them, right? But Dungeons and Dragons has two things. It has a tradition and it has modern excitement. And that modern excitement is because, unlike the OSR and the indies, Dungeons and Dragons has pursued being relevant to young people today through Stranger Things, through Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves, through making sure that they're represented in Funko Pop, in Magic the Gathering, in Fortnite. Like, it's pretty astounding. Like, the links to Dungeons and Dragons are voluminous, right? And that means that even young people are interested in having physical books, right? And particularly these. And I think they're of incredible value because people at this point know that what you can do with these books is virtually limitless, right? And that, really these are an unlocking of the ability to powerfully it's an incredibly powerful thing. Like, we're really looking at something astoundingly powerful, because anyone who gets these books and becomes a dungeon master has the ability to unlock 1,000 stories for every friend who's willing to join them at the table. And no one knows what's going to be contained in that story. No one knows what answers will be provided at that table. No one knows what solutions will be provided at the table. No one knows what problems will be fixed at that table, right? And so it's extremely important that these 2024 books are coming out. And it is a truly momentous event for Dungeons and Dragons. And I think the most pinnacle moment in 2024 will be the release of the DMG, the Monster Manual, and the PHB for Dungeons and Dragons 2024 core rules revision, right? And I think what we're gonna, and the reality is not much is gonna change in it, right? We're gonna get new art. That's a big deal. We're gonna get, and every errata from 10 years is gonna be in there. And we're gonna drop the word race. And so for the first time, we will have a truly incredibly beautifully wrought, progressive Dungeons and Dragons that's ready for the modern age. And I think, and honestly, I think a lot of grognards are going to shake their fists and they're going to buy it. And the reason why is I don't think anybody who's ever played 10 sessions of Dungeons and Dragons in their life is not going to buy these books. I think they're going to be powerful. I think they're going to be bought at Barnes & Noble, and that's not a small thing. Like, that's the last chain. It's the last book chain we have in America. And this could be incredibly helpful to them. I think this will be incredibly helpful to Barnes & Noble. And I think the new 2024 core revision is going to be an epically important, critically important change for Dungeons & Dragons. So I'm extremely excited about it, and I think these books are going to mean a lot to a lot of people. And I think it's also just really important that we still have something that's worthy of being printed and physically, and Dungeons & Dragons is helping to keep the physical book alive, because trust and believe, it is under massive threat. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider like, subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.